Hi, welcome to the Mile High Game Guys Gencon edition, day 1 and 0. I'm Zach.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Wes.
Hello, Wes, our roommate.
Yeah.
Hotel mate.
Hotel bed mate for some.
Yeah, bed mate. That's
yeah.
Just sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah, that's
fine.
That's fine.
That's what happens.
Yeah, it's con. We get I think everybody gets it.
Last year there was 3 doubled up beds
That's
in
right.
the hotel,
including an air mattress and like a
The
fold-out
couch.
bed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, luckily we have 2 very mediocre beds.
Yeah, not great,
Not great.
Not great.
but 12 minutes away from the convention center.
Exactly,
So
and not highway adjacent, which is good.
Yeah, because everything's closed for highways around
Yeah,
here.
the highways suck.
Yeah.
But I don't know. How do day 0 again, or
Yeah, we can cover day 0.
real quick? So Jeff flew out on Tuesday. He flew to Chicago on Tuesday. Visit your family.
Yep. Flew out a day early, had Portillo's, went up to dinner for my mom's birthday, and then picked you guys up from the airport on Wednesday.
Gotcha. Wes and I flew on Wednesday morning. We got up at like 3. He picked me up at 3:45 in the morning.
Yep.
And I believe I maybe had an hour of sleep at that point.
Yeah. I managed to sleep a little bit, so it was fine.
Yeah. Got in the airport. Got to the airport. It was super crowded for 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was when I
It
was
was
there
busy.
on Tuesday morning. It was like way busier than I was expecting.
Oh, the Frontier. We flew Spirit, but the Frontier line to get checked in, there had to be at least 100 plus people there. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't remember who's next to them. Is it like Alaskan Airlines or something next to Spirit?
American was next to us.
Yeah, I don't.
Or maybe it was somebody else. Delta was next to us. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was
their,
Delta.
their line was nuts.
Oh, really?
When I was there.
Oh, man.
I was like, is their system down? But Spirit's A-okay.
Gotcha.
Because especially they started doing a separate line for bag drop. If you self-tag, you just go and drop it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the long line is, I think it used to be everyone that was just buying tickets there, and everything else. It was all one line.
Yeah. That's probably why they charge you $10 to print your ticket there, because we don't want you to fucking do this. Get your own ticket.
Yeah.
No goddamn ticket on the email or on your app or any of that shit. Just leave it. Keep us out of it.
Yeah.
The less work we have to do, the less we're going to pay you.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
guy on the plane gave some real long spiel that just never ended. It was something about hitting your call button first and getting a bunch of round trip miles or something like that.
Oh, probably for signing up for a credit card or something.
I don't even know. I have no idea what
Frontier does that every fucking thing is that.
Yeah, they were giving away free miles, and then there was something about how if you don't buy online and just show up to the airport to buy a ticket, you can get them for ridiculously cheap. So he was just telling everyone to just show up to the airport to buy your ticket because you can get it for $40. I was just like, that seems like a bad idea.
That sounds
Yeah.
not the worst idea I've heard, but it's not great.
You're more likely to just not be flying that day.
Exactly.
But I did get upgraded for free to the fancy seats up front.
Yeah, we paid for that privilege.
Yeah,
It was real nice.
I just hit assigned seat, and they were like 2A, and I was like, all right.
Yeah. Wes and I got 1A and 1C, and because
it's A, C,
DF.
D, F. Yeah.
When I saw that he had C on his, I was like, Wes, did you buy the wrong? Because I was expecting A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
And I was like, Wes, did you buy the wrong fucking ticket?
Do we have a person between us?
But no. But
Yeah, it's just weird numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
that
Spirit.
just
Yeah.
keeps them
And
consistent.
we were making a joke, that I was like, I don't know what people complain about. Spirit. These seats seem fine. Got enough room. I don't know what people complain about with Spirit, man.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
Except for the flight attendants, we're sitting in their little backwards facing seats right
in
in
our
front
face.
of us, and the divider between them and us was clear plastic, And
So
so
they
they
were
were just
looking
like
at us,
looking at us, and we were looking
at
at them.
I couldn't. There was one row of seats, but I think the one on my plane was tinted at least.
Yeah.
Or it had like it only was a window like at the top and
Oh.
not quite eye line.
Oh, no, 100%
just to
eye line.
start staring at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we flew to Chicago. We got Portillo's. You picked
Well,
us
you
up.
came into O'Hare,
Yep.
and then you wanted to be picked up in departures
Yep.
and not arrivals where you're supposed to be.
Anytime I tell someone to go to the airport for me to pick them up, I always tell them departures, because the people who are getting picked up, or the people who are picking up people in arrivals, and obviously I had, maybe Chicago is different, but it was anyone in arrivals is always waiting as fucking long as they can to leave before that, like until someone actually comes. So it's always backed up. Whereas departure, people want to go to departure, drop people off, and then fucking leave.
At O'Hare, they run you off.
Okay.
There's people there about to they got their little ticket pad. It's like, all right, you're getting a ticket, and then like, nope, move along. Like, they've got a crew that's got that shit on handle. If you're there for more than a second, they're just like, get the fuck out of here. You're not immediately picking someone up. Get the fuck out of here.
That seems like the Chicago way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also a huge pain in the ass to go from departures, or from arrivals to departures. I have to leave the airport, go all the way back out, and then back into the airport.
Well, don't blame us for O'Hare's shitty design.
Unlike Denver, where you can literally just go around.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Same with Atlanta. Yeah.
There's not that at O'Hare.
No. Well,
No.
All right. Well, anyway, after that, got Portillo's with
Got
you.
Portillo's.
Yes.
That was good.
Yep.
I'm sure Paul was mad that we didn't get the chocolate shake.
The cake shake.
The cake
Yeah.
shake, yeah.
It's chunky. It's just like, here's a blended piece of cake in a shake.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
It's just, but now you're just like sucking on cake chunks.
Yep.
We did come up with a new menu item, Wes and I.
Oh, yeah. It's going to
And
sweep the nation.
yes, it's the cake burger.
Uh-huh.
It's where you replace the meat patty with a piece of chocolate cake.
Okay.
And that's the only difference.
Everything
else is
everything
exactly
else is the same. Everything's the same.
So is it a chocolate cake the size of a patty, or is it like a full piece?
I would say it's a little thicker.
Okay.
Because you might smash like a double burger.
Okay. All right. But
Level
still,
of chocolate
but
cake.
still like ketchup and mustard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep,
And
yep.
mayo.
No.
Pickles,
I would still
onions.
ask for no mayo, even if I had to keep the other stuff.
Mayo, lettuce, pickles, onion.
Uh huh.
Sesame seed bun.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh?
Just imagine a Whopper, but with chocolate cake instead of a burger patty. Can't knock it till you tried it.
I feel like I can. But so after that, we just immediately drove to
To Chicago.
yes, to Chicago, because
We weren't
obviously-
in Chicago. We were just at
We were
the
in
airport.
like
yeah.
at the Portillo's near the
Elmhurst or something.
Yeah.
Portillo's.
Yep, and we had to go to Indy, but we're like, oh, we got some time. Let's drive into downtown and see some of this architecture that people are always talking about.
That Wes is so interested in.
Yeah, no, it was
As-
really cool.
As
Using
some
your
sort of architect.
architect powers.
Yeah. Despite just like driving by some buildings, and that was basically it.
Right.
It was a good experience. I've never been to Chicago before,
no,
much
there
less
was
spent any time in the city.
Yeah. Well, we were so far away that you guys barely knew that it existed.
Oh, yeah, no, we were given a lot of shit. We're like, this is the Chicago. I see like 5-story buildings, and that's it.
Yeah. Endless.
This is supposed to be a big city.
So we took the Kennedy Expressway into town, went kind of like under the bridge. I think it was the Tribune building at one point or something. I don't remember. There's another highway that goes underneath like a big building, and that's like the newspaper. And then we took that across the river, kind of by the Chicago Theater, and that sort of dead ends right at Millennium Park, which Lollapalooza is going on this weekend as well. So that was just swarmed. You couldn't even see the park through all of the tents and fences and gates.
Yeah.
So we drove around there, and then went to Lakeshore Drive, went down that. I saw a glimpse of the Buckingham Fountain, famous from the credits of Married with Children, of course.
Yeah, we saw it for about 2 seconds.
Yep.
Yep.
Between all the Lollapalooza nightmare. Saw the Field Museum, the Shed Aquarium.
And by saw, we mean drove past.
Drove past, yes. The UFO shaped Soldier Field. And then the crown jewel of our Chicago tour was driving through Gary, Indiana.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Drove across the Chicago River. You know, you got to see what a river looks like instead of whatever Denver's calls them.
Yeah. They're a lot of them are technically called creeks.
Yep. But yeah, so then we just drove to Indianapolis. Parked at our hotel. Got our room. Immediately sat on the beds, and we're like, well, these are beds. They are technically beds.
They are technically sheets
Yep.
and a mattress. It counts, but not for much.
The weather has been really good so far.
Yeah.
For this time of year.
Yeah, it hasn't been crazy hot. Hasn't been crazy
Mid-80s.
Yeah. Which obviously with humidity can make that worse, but it hasn't been that bad. Surprising.
Like
I remember last year
60% humidity or something like that.
Last year was garbage.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was humid, and it sucked.
Yep.
It's not even supposed to rain this weekend.
No.
So
we got here, and then Wes and I immediately went in line to get our badge.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Wednesday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a little over an hour.
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad.
Wasn't bad.
But
the line was all the way around the convention center and out the door at one point.
Yes. Luckily, we never were in that outside the door part.
No, you were close.
It got to the door and then like snaked around and went back up the hallway a little bit, which is where we were. And then by the time we'd gotten around past the doors, some security guy came by and was like, hey, you guys can't snake back up the corridor. You have to go outside, and was making people go outside. And we're like, yes, we just missed it.
Yep.
Ugh.
But yeah, we got our badges, and then met you outside in the release.
The Sun King Gen
yes.
Con beer release.
Brewtron 9000.
Yes, a tart golden ale.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, actually. I liked it.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's got like some Japanese fruit or something.
It's got
inspired.
Anime inspired. Yeah. It was okay.
Yeah. It's better than whatever last year was. I don't even remember what last year's was, but I know it was better.
I remember it being real bad.
Yeah.
So I got the Brewtron and a cream ale.
Yeah.
And then we blew that popsicle stand because the beer line was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
At one point, it went from like the Georgia Street like plaza that's in front there, and then the line went all the way back to the convention center. And people said that it even at one point was on the other side of the street. Yeah. And that was the line to get beer was absolutely insane.
To get draft. There
was two lines once you got in, so I had found out that that's just that was just the line to get ID'd.
Yeah. Okay.
They did have two lines. There was another line on the backside that was about a 20th as long.
Yes.
Yeah, I got in.
That's what we did
where
too.
We went. Yeah.
And that was a reasonable wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we told Cassie that, and then she came back, got back into the other line. She's like, people found out about the other line. But yeah, we bounced out of there and we went to
Kilroy's.
The Old Standard.
Yep.
As is tradition.
Yeah. It is on Wednesdays now because they have half off drink night on Wednesdays.
It's even better than the buy one get one free that we thought.
Yeah.
I mean, you people thought.
Yeah.
I knew it was half off.
Well, you didn't tell us that.
Yeah. Half off. That's why CJ and I got hammered last year.
Yeah. Well, I feel like people will tend to get more hammered with a buy one get one because you'll be like, you'll get two, and then you'll be like, all right, well, I'll get one more, and they're like, I can just get two while I'm getting and then you're like, well, now I have 4 Long Island iced teas in my stomach, and it is
4 32-ounce Long Island iced
a
teas.
gallon of Long Island iced
That's
tea.
a lot of liquid.
Yeah.
I think everyone ordered at least 2.
Yes.
Yep.
It took a while for the food to come, and
Which was
we
bad.
did some work
Yeah.
before the food came. Jake from Draft Mechanic was chugging
Beers.
3 Floyd's Zombie Dust.
Yep.
He was
one
so
of his
excited
favorite
for
beers.
it.
Yep.
And then just chugging it. It's like, that's your favorite beer. Why don't you?
Because you can get another one, and because it's half off, and I only paid for one.
Enjoy it a little bit.
So then we got our food. They made fun of me for getting chicken tenders, but I knew I needed the protein content alone. Because
really, it was only Jake making fun of you.
Yeah. The rest
of
us know.
Then they showed up, and I was just like, there are a lot of chicken tenders.
Yeah.
These chicken tenders don't fuck.
No. Just like the tachos.
The tachos.
Which is just nachos, but with tater tots. It was they should have called it Mount Tacho. It was so much goddamn.
Think of like a Thanksgiving turkey-sized platter, but with tater tot nachos.
Yeah.
And then 2 individual women ordered one each.
And then each took about 4 bites, and we're like, "Oh, okay, no, never mind."
This can't continue.
Yep. I saw them both make the Joe Bluth the face of I've made a huge mistake.
Made a huge mistake. I don't know what else I was expecting.
Yeah.
Tachos.
Yes.
Tachos.
But then after that, we
went to the
Wild Beaver Saloon.
So it's like a country karaoke place. It's very divey.
Yeah.
We were expecting to do karaoke.
Yeah.
We were expecting to watch people do karaoke.
Right. We were expecting to watch Jake do karaoke.
Yes.
But no karaoke. It's only Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So instead, Jake orders us all Miller High Lifes.
Yep.
The Champagne of beers. And I think at one point he called it the most lawn mowing beer in existence. And we all finished them.
Yep.
That was the only glass that we had seen all evening, because everything else was served in plastic cups.
Yep.
I had myself a Yingling, and then some tequila shot. Tequila shots.
Tequila, yeah.
I attempted it, and I did about a third of a shot, and I was just like, good night.
Yeah.
It all sort of spiraled from there. Jake was up at the bar, and I just went up and started chatting with him, and then a bunch of people from like Pegasus Spiel showed up. Stefan, who Adrian had met at Lieria last year, was there. Just so happened that he remembered Adrian. I was like, oh, I'm part of the Mile High Game. He was like, oh, I met Adrian. He was very German.
Not surprised.
Yeah, they were troopers for what that
jet lag
was. But when we were there until like 11 or later, that was like 4 or 5 a.m. their time, 6 hours ahead, basically.
Gotcha.
At one point, they were just like, yeah, I mean, once you get so tired, you just, fuck it.
Yeah.
You're just going at that point.
I mean, there were definitely points that night.
We almost got there, yeah.
We were tired.
Yeah.
They continued to drink. We chit-chatted. I met Nathan from Pegasus Spiel. And then we just kind of drank and then finally stopped drinking and left.
Well, and to be fair, right when we were getting ready to leave Kilroy's, we were like, do we want... Because people were talking about going, and I know Wes and I were both like feeling pretty shitty.
Having been up since 3, I was just like, I just want to go.
After finishing at least 64 ounces of Long Island.
But I didn't feel drunk. I just felt shitty.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. No, it was not drunk. It was just full.
Yeah.
And tired.
Yeah. And so we looked at the Lyft app, and it was like, hey, it's like $9 to get home. And it was like, okay. And then, so we went to there, and then we were like, we'll go a little bit longer, whatever. And thankfully, we did start to feel better as the night went on.
Yeah.
Drinking more alcohol made us feel better.
I'm pretty sure it was that tequila.
Yeah, that really...
The Miller High Life hydrated you enough.
Yes.
Brought you back from the brink.
But every so often, I would check the Lyft price, and I'd be like, okay, well, now it says $20 instead of $8. Great. Well, now it says 25 instead of 20. Great. Well, now it says 31 instead. And we're just like...
We had to wait it out.
We had to wait it out, and then it turned to 16, and we're like, fuck it. Let's
punching out.
Yeah.
The Pegasus Spiel guys had bought me another round of beer.
I saw that.
And I quickly chugged most of it and was like, well, our lift is on the way. But I'll see you guys later. And then, like, Jake had, like, another friend, Scott, I think.
Yeah.
He showed up, and so their night was about to continue.
Oh, I'm sure.
But we were punching out.
Yep. So we got back here.
Yep.
And slept hard.
Technically, it was called sleep.
Yeah.
As technical as these are called beds.
Well, yes. I snored a lot. Apparently, I felt it when I woke up. I was just like, "Oh my god, the back of my throat hurts so much."
Fun fact: that also feels a lot like being intubated and waking up from surgery. Like you'd been snoring for a while. Yeah.
But yeah, we woke up and got ready, and then
I didn't have to do the press room. Yesterday, I had a chance to get my press badge early, but I guess they had shut down just a couple minutes before I showed up. Like all their laptops and equipment were still there, but there was no one there. I was like, oh, okay. So there was no early access for press this year, so I just could show up and get my press badge and then be on my way.
Yep.
But I also took advantage of the free coffee that they had in the press room, which I have full access to for the rest of the con.
Nice.
I will definitely be taking advantage of that tomorrow, especially because this nightmare will continue for some time.
Yep.
But I do have a press badge, all that fun stuff. Press room looked about the same as it did last year. They had a couple games in there and like what booths and stuff they were at, like the Jaws game and things like that. So yeah, and then the con started.
Yep.
We got there a little after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that's when the expo hall. Yeah.
And so that's when Jeff went to go get his press badge, and Wes was like, "Oh, let's just go to the Fantasy Flight real quick. Just pop on by. It'll be like
Day 1 Fantasy Flight."
Well, I knew there was things I wanted to get that were probably going to sell out. And
Yeah.
like, standing in line for an hour now, might as well just do it.
Yeah. So we ended up standing in line for a little over an hour.
The line is about the same.
Yep.
Everything else about the Fantasy Flight booth is totally different this year. The booth used to be like a store with like walls, and you would wait in line, and then you would just be entered into the store,
Basically
and then get into
into
the
a
line.
retail space.
Yeah.
No, now it's basically a walk-through instead of a drive-through.
Yeah, it's just you wait in line, then you get to the registers, you have a menu, and then you're like, I want this, and then someone goes back and gets it and brings it up to the register.
Yeah.
So you can't just kind of shop around.
Right.
You can't see what they have. You just have to point and say.
Yeah.
I wonder if that lets them have like more inventory.
Can
they just turn that whole space into like just
and
stuff?
It'll stop the people from being just like, oh, I want to just look at everything.
Yeah.
Right. And it definitely keeps the line moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we were in line for an hour, but we were always moving ahead, taking a step, whatever. It wasn't hanging around forever.
Yep.
I'm just so used to that other booth design.
Like Asmodee still has that CMON, or Asmodee sells everything, so basically, like, there are a lot of spaces where it's like, oh, we're in CMON. Where's the thing that? Oh, you have to go to the Asmodee part.
Yeah.
Oh, we're looking at these, Z-Man. Oh, you have to go to Asmodee. Oh, okay. We got to go to Asmodee.
Yeah, the Asmodee booth always just has such a long line because everything everyone wants is there.
Yeah.
And so if anyone's buying any of that new crap, like the God of War was being demoed at CMON, but you had to go to the Asmodee booth to actually buy it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the glass cases that normally have all the new stuff are sort of off to the side.
Yeah.
Because for a bunch of years, always people were like standing there and looking at all the stuff that was in the glass cases, and every once in a while there'd be like convention staff that were like, "You got to keep moving. You can't look at the stuff in the glass cases that display cases." And I was just like, "What?
Yeah.
We got to keep this aisle clear." I was like, "Fuck off!" Like, like I want to look at all the cool shit.
Yeah.
But now they're like in near the like demo areas, so you can go around both sides of them.
Yeah. Right.
So that was kind of an upgrade.
Yes.
But it's just weird.
Yeah. I'll definitely say there was a person that was like a row behind me, but happened to be literally right behind me because we were both making a corner, and he was talking to his friends that were literally right behind us, and it seemed like we were about halfway through the line, and he was like, "Man, I really gotta go run this tournament," and he taps me on the shoulder. He's like, "Hey, are you buying any Legend of the Five Rings stuff?" And I was like,
"Fuck no."
I was like, "No," because anything that was new was only one customer could buy. So
it was one per customer.
yeah,
I see.
And
all
he was
the
like,
stuff on the new
"Hey,"
page.
and he was like, "If I give you money, will you buy these things for me?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yes.
And it was 2 packs for like $15 each.
Yeah.
So it was like 30 plus tax, and he was like, "Here's 40. Keep their change." And I was like, "All right, sweet. I made money being in this line." That I then immediately spent on the new Arkham Horror expansion.
Yes. So Zach and I each got a copy of that.
Yeah.
Dead of Night.
Which we've talked before
Yep.
on the show, but
Yeah.
we watched the in-flight report live
Yep.
while we were drinking beer, because they do it on the Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Really, all they announced was there's a new Arkham game.
Final hour.
Yep.
Which
Right.
It's supposed to take place in about an hour. You don't use dice for stuff anymore. You're using card plays.
It's similar to
I mean,
there's a priority system that's similar to Gloomhaven,
Well,
where you're
and-
selecting parts of the card you want to use.
but it's based on who does initiative. It's we didn't get a good read. Had we been able to play it, because they were demoing.
They were demoing it.
I'm
They
sure
were
we
just
will.
always full. Yeah, we're gonna try again tomorrow.
Yeah, but because as we're in the line, I was sitting there, it's just it's only $40. If it was a $60 or $100 Mansions of Madness was, it'd have been no. But I was like, it's only $40.
Yeah, it seems like it's a short time scale
Yeah.
type Arkham game.
Yeah.
It's not your usual 2.5 plus hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something that you can play in a decent amount of time. That's not the LCG.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
even LCG doesn't really play in a reasonable
No.
amount of time.
Yeah. But it seems neat.
Yeah.
We'll have to take a look. It seems like it's just going to be a one-off thing. I doubt there's going to be any expansions
Yeah.
for it. I mean, what was Elder Sign, the dice game?
That has a lot of expansions.
It does.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be that route.
No. I think it still wants to be different. And it's a lot more combat oriented than the other ones, too.
Yeah, all the characters are the combat characters from the Arkham series.
It's basically, oh shit, every 1 hour left before everything goes down, and we need
it's supposed to take place between 11 and midnight or something.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to take place. It's supposed to only take an hour.
Yeah, it's not. No matter what their some blurb makes it feel like, it's not real time.
No, no.
It's just don't take forever.
Yeah.
Um,
They announced the Star Wars Legion, or they showed off and released all of the Star Wars Legion Clone Wars stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
well,
all
that stuff will actually be there tomorrow, but they did announce it to be some of it's going to be at Gen Con tomorrow. But
I would have expected it to be here
yes.
today.
Yes.
They had somebody walking the line saying, if you're in line for the Star Wars Legion stuff, we don't have it. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah. You'd see about a fourth of the people. More than you would think.
Some people really love
No,
Legion,
yeah,
apparently.
Yeah.
And
When I demoed it last year, it seemed like it was an okay tabletop
I'm sure
war
it's
game.
fun,
Yeah,
but also it's super expensive.
it is very expensive.
$80 for a building the trench.
The bunker
Yeah,
from
bunker.
Return of the Jedi
Yep.
Yeah.
was $70 or $80.
$80 and
Yeah.
the
And it's only really just the front door.
Yeah.
But the whole thing, the roof lifts off.
yeah, and then also the escape pod that C-3PO and R2-D2 come into, crashing down the ground.
Right,
You could
from
buy
the
that for
Tenet
$40 if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but okay.
And it's scenario stuff.
I guess I don't know.
The Super Star Destroyer that we saw last year released.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think it's gigantic, and we saw at least one person walk away with one. So.
I saw
It fills
someone.
up literally the whole bag that they give you. The bag that is for all of the things that you buy a Fantasy Flight holds exactly one Superstar Destroyer.
I saw someone opening one
yeah.
on the Armada table.
Oh, I'm sure.
Nice.
It looked pretty cool, but
Yeah.
it's fucking crazy expensive.
$200.
$200?
Yeah, only
Yeah.
200. I was a little surprised.
I think
it wasn't
cool-
4 or 5.
They sold out.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
The guy said that he had gotten the last one, and Cool Stuff has some online.
Gotcha.
for cheaper.
Yeah.
And then, the Star Wars Legion, Clone Wars stuff kind of...
They also announced the Marvel thing, too.
Oh, yeah, the Marvel thing.
I just don't know if I care that much.
Right, exactly, yeah.
It's a Marvel LCG?
Yeah, cooperative LCG.
Cooperative LCG. And then they announced a Marvel miniatures game.
Yes.
Which is... made it sort of seem like HeroClix, where you have like a unit that you've built versus someone else's units that they've built. But it's it's a Marvel Comics license, so they can have all of that shit.
Yeah.
All of the weird shit like MODOK. And one of the guys said that he was some stuff that they don't... The most excited thing the thing he is most excited about that is not like a model yet is like Ghost Rider,
right,
and stuff like that. It seems like they're just going to go hard on like, here's Marvel, and we're going to make a miniatures game out of it, and you're going to pay a fuckload of money.
Nice. Because
I was looking at all the prices, like 2 models were like $40.
Yeah, that's miniature
and
prices.
People will pay those prices.
Oh my god.
Well, it's mostly the licensing, honestly.
Yeah.
Licenses are expensive.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll get to have demos of all this stuff. Hopefully I can get in on that. It's basically just, I'm going to stand at this table for 20 to 30 minutes until that demo is done, and then I can play.
Right. Yeah.
I tried to do that with God of War today, except so
many people.
There was like 15 people waiting for the demos.
Yeah.
The cool thing Simon did this year, though, is they have like a little...
The timer thing?
They have a timer, like, this demo will be done in 20 minutes. 10 minutes, and it'll, like, that the person running the demo will actually count down, so you know when to come back.
Exactly.
That's nice. Yeah. I think that was the problem with trying to do last hour, was every time we walked over, like, well, there are people playing it, but I can't tell if they're almost done or just started.
Yeah.
So we'll stand around for a minute, and I guess let's go to somewhere else now.
Yeah.
Because there's so much cool stuff to see.
Right.
Yeah, we spent a lot of the time, as per usual, on a Thursday walk through the vendor hall.
Yep.
There were less dice for Wes in his coupon book than they usually are.
There's only like 2 or 3 free dice in the coupon book this year.
But you have them.
I have them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The only one I don't have is the one that the oversized at Simon that you have to demo in order to get the free dice, which we haven't done any demos yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have Cthulhu, Even Death May Die here on demo. And like, what was the unhinged or untangled or
whatever that one was called. They also had like some big, little figure things of like, I can't tell if those were for Gundam the game. Or...
No, that's for a different game.
Okay.
It's some new miniatures game. It's sort of like weird robot giant dragon kind of
demon things.
Yeah.
It looks cool. Like the things they had out looked cool. But
they announced a Cyberpunk 2077 card game coming out Q4 2077. It said on the tag.
Did it really? Oh,
yeah.
That's nice.
They've got another thing coming from the Dice Tower panel, which I don't know when that is, but
I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be another Simon announcement. Yeah. Simon has all of they have displays for Zombicide 2nd Edition. They have the Space Zombicide there. And then pretty much everything else.
Yep.
I want to try and see what the Cthulhu Death May Die plays like.
Yeah.
Because usually that's... God, Simon has a lot of miniatures games.
Yes, they do.
And it's just so hard to be interested in them.
Yeah.
Walking through the vendor hall, I'm just so tired of miniatures games at this point.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just like, it's like this display case with a bunch of really cool miniatures. Here's another one, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. And I just don't care. I don't even want to learn whatever these are.
Yeah. Just because, after a year, you'd be like, oh, I don't even pay attention to them anymore.
I want to go by Steamforged and look at, like, they probably have Horizon Zero Dawn stuff here.
Yeah.
But most of the games are super disappointing. CMON had another like weird like closed off sound booth thing where they were showing off the new like digital Zombicide thing that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Right. Yeah.
Where it's like that digital playmat.
Yes.
That you can. I think they're doing like closed room demos of that, but it's got windows and stuff in there, so you can actually see people inside playing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Unless they just take you into a dark room and make you play it.
Yeah. We saw the new Kingdom Death stuff because like they had an update on that.
Yes.
That was like, hey, you know that expansion?
All that cool shit that I've been talking about.
Another year.
2020.
But they expanded onto it and added a bunch of new minis.
The like $100 Gambler's Box
Is now an expansion.
Is now a full expansion, like full expansion set.
Yeah, with like 4 different campaigns in it, and like
some longer, some 5 year, some 30 year.
Yeah. But yeah, we saw like the Gambler mini or whatever it is. It's like
it's holding up a sphere
of
straight
people.
out of Event Horizon
Yes.
of just people.
Yeah, and the thing is a lot bigger than I was expecting.
Yeah, because they have actually all the models in the display cases here that they showed off on that update.
Yeah.
There's a couple Gen Con things they released. There's like a Giga Lion that actually has some content with it that is new. That's not Kickstarter. It's not part of an expansion. It's just sort of like, here's content that no one's really ever gotten before.
Yeah.
I tried talking to some people at the ends of the line about like what it was, and I'm not sure they even knew because they were really vague.
That was going to stop them from buying it, but...
Well, I meant like people that worked there.
Oh, gotcha.
I was trying to get like a guy that worked there to tell me what exactly the Giga Lion is, and it was kind of vague. It's basically like a vignette where it has some pre-made survivors that you go and fight the lion, and then after that you can get like a Giga Catatarium that does have some new items.
Ooh, okay.
But it will have like a resource, a hit location deck, stuff like that. It's not just a different model for the lion.
Yeah, like because I saw some of the different model things they had, like whatever, like the Ultra Butcher, whatever the thing was called.
Yeah,
that thing is amazing looking.
Yes,
but also like Jesus Christ.
And they're all so huge.
They are,
and that's gigantic. Is that Gambler's Box stuff?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
yeah. Like the Gambler's Box is going to be like half the price of the base fucking game after all this content, and that's where Adam Poots, the guy that designs all this, that's his name.
Yeah.
And people, when they pushed it back a year, were like, maybe you should actually focus down some of this stuff and not try and make it perfect, because it seems like everything's just growing and growing and growing. Some people would call that bloat.
Yeah.
A lot of people in Kingdom Death are like, take as long as you ever need, but I'm just worried that it's just going to bloat so hard.
And that you'll never actually see it.
Yeah. It's just like, and all right.
I've spent the $14
The Gambler's
Box.
Yeah. The Gambler's Box is $600 now, and it comes with like 9 expansions and 40 more campaigns. And
so you just owe me $500.
Yeah. Shipping, unfortunately, you're going to have to pay shipping.
Yep. And that would... I would assume half the people would still do that.
Probably. Yeah. I never even tried to get into Kingdom Death line. No. It was just always long, and there's nothing I care about. Might pick up the Giga Lion for Paul. Nothing had sold out yet, so I'll try tomorrow and see about getting that Giga Lion. One other thing that came out at Gen Con that we saw was the 4-player Clask.
Oh,
yes, it did.
Yeah.
We had seen some like commercials for it, and we're
out in the wild internets.
Yep.
The Dutch were here with their 4-player, and they didn't bring many copies, and it's going to be out in a couple months, but Paul needed it. And it's in a fucking... Imagine a pizza box with a handle.
Yep.
Is what it comes in. That doesn't fit in luggage very well.
No, it doesn't.
So I shipped it to Paul via FedEx. I went to Ship Naked, who is shipping in the convention center, And the dude didn't even want to try and put it in the box to see if he could ship it.
He looked at it, was just like, no, it's not going to fit in anything.
No. Okay, bye. I was like, all right, I'll go off and fuck myself. Over to FedEx.
Yep.
Who put it in like an art box.
Yes.
Which she taped it very well. It didn't fit perfectly, but she taped it well enough that it will survive to Paul's.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will have played it at least a dozen times by the time it gets to him.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Silver was here from the fine people at the Bezier, the werewolf people.
Yep.
Of course, I love Cabo and bought Silver. Its box is a little much, I think. It has like individual dividers for like each card number, but it's a deck you shuffle together, so I don't really know why you would separate them out unless you want to separate them out every time you play. I do know that there is like cards you can swap out certain numbers for like a 12 with a different power 12.
Yeah.
Haven't played it yet, but I'm sure I will soon. Otherwise, the insert's pretty okay.
Yeah.
The rules are a little different. I look forward to it.
So did you try anything while you were out in the vendor hall?
Yes. So I did the stand around a table until it was ready because the people finally were done. And I played Reavers of Midgard from Gray Fox Games.
Yeah.
It was just a 2-round demo. I took a bunch of notes and then lost my notebook, which sucks.
Yeah.
There is a lost and found. I'll check that tomorrow. But there's only, if you don't know what Reavers of Midgard is, it's a follow-up to Champions of Midgard. And the board looks real nice. It's got some color in there. It looks kind of busy. There's a ton of cards and shit, but there's really just 6 actions. And there's a little bit of like engine running in there because your Reavers can be like the captain. You can discard them for more dice. You can put them under your board to when anyone does like one of these 4 actions that you can like get rid of a die and turn another die into any facing that you want, or discard 2 glory, which glory and meat and stuff all carries over from Champions of Midgard. Like discard 2 glory and get like an endgame points card and things like that you get for free. But when anyone goes to any of the 6 actions, which is like trading with a village, raiding a village, trading gets you endgame stuff. Raiding gets you upgrades. Raiding a keep gets you a variety of like set collection cards, as well as you can like fight the towers and walls and stuff that you get tokens that are another set collection piece. You can like secure territory, which get it's these stacks of tiles where you're just sort of paying meat, glory, or dice, and then in different amount there's like 3 difficulties for each, and when you do that you flip it over and then there's a reward on the backside. Can be various cards. There is your like setting sail kind of area. That's sort of the monster fighting thing,
right?
But it's all like naval combat. It seemed like you're not crossing the sea to again go fight a troll. You're sort of ship-to-ship combat, I guess.
Okay.
You're fighting boats.
Nice.
The boats can be like the Draugr and things like that, but that's where you use your dice to have certain symbols on them. Depending on who your captain is, depends on which color is wild for you. There's red, yellow, and blue. Certain ones need the wild symbols from other ones, though. So the wilds can't turn into wilds from the others. They can only turn into like the other basic symbols.
Interesting.
Now, if you don't have those specific symbols you need, you can always fight. However many hammers that you have, you can discard to have black die, which are very similar to like the Champions of Midgard die, where there's like an axe or a blank or 2 axes, and then you just need to have the shield symbol on there. And that works the same with fighting the walls and towers and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then there's recruiting the Reavers themselves. The cards are really well designed where they kind of go into like a plus sort of formation where they lay over each other, and that's how they are on the board, because the only thing that really matters is kind of like the very top and very bottom of the cards, so it's really easy to see what both cards are and their tops and bottoms in that sort of plus
that's cool.
thing. So there's only the 6 actions, but every time someone takes an action, the first person that does it gets the best version of that action. They'll be able to do the action, then they'll get like 2 cards off the top of the deck, and then it goes to the next person in turn order, and then they get to do that action third and fourth. But whoever's in that turn order earlier in that turn order gets a better version of that action if they can afford it. If they choose not to, or whatever, they can rest. They can get a die of their choice, or they can get 2 food. So like the sailing reaving version, you need to pay 4 food. If you don't have 4 food, you can get 2 food or get a die. So you're not totally boned. But every single one of those actions has follow mechanics to it. So everyone's always doing something every single action in the game. Some people just get a better version of that.
Right, yeah.
And that's basically it.
Do you enjoy your 2-round play of it?
Yeah. I just really miss all of the fancy upgraded pieces. This was with just a regular retail version, so all of them were regular. Like they weren't punch. Which one's punchboard better? Punchboard is thicker than like cards. They're not quite card stock chits, but they're not like weighty, nice cardboard. They're sort of just kind of like thinnish, glossy cardboard.
Okay.
I never played Champions of Midgard without all of your fancy like wooden everything. The retail version is not that.
Right.
The Kickstarter version is, but that's not what I played.
Yeah.
So I sort of miss all of those really nice components that you would get on the
which luckily if you just buy it from retail, you can get those upgrade things from
Grey Fox. Yes. I'm not sure how available. I wasn't able to ask Alex like how easily available that stuff will be. But the nice part about Grey Fox is they don't do Kickstarter exclusive. They do Grey Fox exclusive, which means you can just buy it from them later.
Yep.
Instead of just never being able to get it ever again.
Yep.
But yeah, and the boards get very colorful. And then like each of the cards is sort of themed in that section's color as well, like the purple, orange, etc.
Gotcha.
And then everyone has their own player board that is your ship, and that's where you keep all your die and your upgrades, and you're sort of upgrading your longboat throughout the game.
Gotcha.
It's like your little home base engine thing. So yeah, it was very different from Champions, but I could see kind of the
heavier. Did it feel heavier?
Out of the 2 rounds, it's hard to say. And that's the hard part about only getting...
You don't have a concrete opinion of the entire game and its higher level strategies at 2 rounds, Jeff. Jesus.
There was definitely some weighty decision making.
Okay.
Depending on where you are in the player order, like what options were even available to you.
And it sounds like you actually care about you're using the dice not just for combat, but for
you're not rolling the die. The only time you roll the die is like certain times you can get the dice. You get them random, and other times you get them, like when you discard a Reaver, you get like more dice, but you get to choose what you put them onto your board as.
Nice.
But a lot of those a lot of actions need specific dice. Like to go to the upgrade area, you need 2 chests because you're going and raiding. You need to put your stuff in chests to take back with you.
Gotcha.
Or if you're fighting the keep, you need shields because they're gonna fuck you up without shields.
Right.
And that's the same as like other actions need food. You need specific die.
Right.
And then when you do the reaving fighting part, you do have the cross the water deck that has the Kraken or calm seas type stuff in there too.
Gotcha.
Some of them are like discard your captain or some dice. Reavers I think is going to be pretty okay.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, I just miss the fancy components, I guess. But
cool.
Yeah.
I know for me, the main thing that I played was right near the end of the vendor hall. That was Tim Fowers from Fowers Games sent out a tweet a couple days before Gen Con that was like, hey, who in the media wants to play Burgle Bros 2? And I was like,
Zach does.
There's a Burgle Bros 2? I'm in, because I'm a big fan of the first one.
I had never played.
Yeah, I've never played it either.
So the first one, you're robbing a bank. You have, or whatever, like, whatever style of thing you're robbing. It's 3 levels. It has like similarities and stuff to Pandemic and things like that in terms of like 4 actions, and then the bad stuff happens, and then someone else has 4 actions and the bad stuff happens, right? But here you have a bunch of face down tiles, and you can either like just look at the tile and flip it over as an action and then move on it, or you can just spend 1 action and just move on to it and then it flips over. But sometimes you can do sometimes bad things can happen to you. Like if you walk into a balcony without knowing that it's a balcony, you will fall off it and fall to the floor below you, stuff like that. So this one is about, it's called, I think it was Casino Heist. So now you're...
And this is totally not out yet.
Yeah.
It hasn't even hit Kickstarter
No,
yet.
Kickstarter's like on the 15th or so. But, I'll tell you this. We did a prototype play of
Sabotage last year.
This component's much further along, it felt like for what you really cared about. A lot of it was sort of borrowed from Burgle Bros, but the tiles were casino themed, and it worked out well. So this one, like I said, you're robbing a casino. Instead of 3 floors, it's just 2. But the reason why is there's like a lot of extra things added. So before in Burgle Bros, you have to you have to find a safe, and then get the combination from the safe, which is finding out the tiles, the horizontal and vertical row that the safe is in. Like it has like 1 through 6 numbers on there, and that's like the code. And then for that, you have to spend dice or spend time to build dice that helps you crack it. This one, you're finding intel throughout the entire casino, because there's a bunch of like little poker chits that you flip over, and they will have certain things. Like they'll have coffee, which gives you an extra action, or it'll have intel, which will let you then build the die to help you crack the safe. Or maybe it's something bad, like if it's a blind corner. If you peek at the blind corner, you peek and the guard will instantly teleport to there. Whereas if you just walked into that spot, you wouldn't have to you would just ignore the blind corner.
Okay.
Or if you walked into a room without looking and it was slippery, you just keep moving on to the next room. But there was a lot more there was a lot of interesting stuff in here. So instead of it like being different security rooms, it's like it's casino themed now. So it's like this is the poker room, this is the craps room, this is the cashier, and you have to do certain things because it's no longer a security guard, it's like a bouncer trying to keep and if you get, instead of like trying to hide in the bank one, this one you're getting heat, and if you have a certain amount of heat, they will kick you out. And so they're still patrolling like in Burgle Bros, but now you'll get heat instead of losing stealth. And it was I really liked it. I thought they did a lot of cool changes. They have you can definitely tell they're not trying to take it seriously, because like there are, if you go to some of the rooms are like pools or lounges, and that's like you draw a card and you have like something happen, and like one of them was a magic trick, so it's like you fall up to the next floor. And in the original Burgle Bros, everybody had their own individual power that they could usually use on their own turn, that were like, I'm not going to say they were weak, but they were just very, like, certain ones were a lot stronger than others, and they usually had very certain things that you could do. These now, instead, you get cards. You get 3 cards at the beginning of the game that are face down, and then you get to flip them over after your one after your turn each time, and you can use them. They're all like one-offs, but they're fairly powerful. So it was like you can break through a wall or switch a wall and a door, because now this one, that regular Burgle Bros just had walls and not walls. This one has doors that you have to open, but if they're open and
a door, also known as not a wall.
Exactly.
Wait, that as an architect,
It's a game. They've abstracted it. It's fine.
Abstracted away.
Yeah. But if a guard goes through an open door, he's mad because he's like, why is this not locked? And so that'll make him move faster. And so it's like you're trying to okay, lock it so he won't be suspicious, but it's gonna be harder, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But then what was really cool was after we got to in regular Burgle Bros, there's just a safe on each floor, and every time you crack one, once you crack all three, then you just have to give it to the roof. This one, so there's only one safe. It's on the second floor, and when you find on the first floor of the control room, any die that you make for the intel that I was telling you about, those go to the control room, and you have to actually spend time to send those dice up to the safe whenever you find it for then someone to be able to crack it. So there's a lot more collaboration in this versus just, so you have to have one person down there still.
And it's still 4-player?
Yeah, you can still do it for 4 players. But once you crack the safe, in regular Burgle Bros, it was, you get some items and you get some loot that makes life a little bit harder for you. It's a chihuahua, and so it'll just make noise and things like that. But this one, the job that you're trying to do will then flip over, when that shows you how to set up. It'll flip over and it'll give you, all right, sort of like in Betrayal, of once the hunt's revealed, then you find what you really have to do. This one, you flip it over and you're like, oh, now I have to do this. So the one that we played, once we opened the safe, we find out that it was actually my character's car that was impounded or whatever. It was here, and so then we have to drive the car around to the second floor, and the security guard or the bouncers are chasing us, and everybody has to get in, and then you have to drive all 4 corners, and then you're going to be able to just bust through a window and drive out.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we didn't get to we didn't have enough time to actually get into that part, but
yeah,
it just I really liked how they had some of the sort of the random events with the not only the the lounge and the pool areas, but the different poker chits that are hey, it's a salesman, and unless somebody can save you from the salesman, you can't move because he will just keep talking to you. We had one instance where somebody went into a room without looking. They saw that it was slippery, and so they moved into the next room. The next room was a storage room where if you enter that, the door closes behind you. So a door becomes closed, and then that person flipped over the chit there that was the salesman. So they slid into the closet, and the salesman's like, hey, how's it going? Let me tell you about this insurance. It's just oh god,
and I can't leave.
No.
Where did you come from?
Yeah. And then it was there was a lot of funny things that were going on in there, and I think they do a great. I really like how they integrated the theme and changed it from just being a regular bank heist sort of thing. So I'm super excited for this.
I have no doubt in the talents of Tim Fowers.
I know. Yes.
You mentioned we played Sabotage last year in a pretty early prototype. They have the full thing here, and it looks awesome.
Oh yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. It looks like spy battleship now. There's minis, and the box folds to be the shield in between everyone. It's got cool control panels and stuff on there. Yeah, that one looks cool.
Yeah. So that's basically what I did, and then we played some game later, but I think it would be fun if we just talk about those tomorrow. So
yeah, because it's tomorrow already.
It is tomorrow already, and I just want to make sure this.
We're not going to run out of battery.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adrian.
Yeah, thanks, Adrian, for giving us busted batteries. But we tried out on tour, and you finally get to try it role player.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And this is me telling you that, so that helps remind me.
Yeah. And then we got Academy Games tomorrow. We're going to go chat with some Uva, and I think there's like another Jeff.
Probably. There's always another Jeff.
Yeah. Probably chit-chat about One Small Step. Kickstarter either is still going on or about to end.
Yeah.
Probably over, because I think we talked about that on the podcast, which feels like forever ago at this point.
Yes, it does. But yeah, we've been... that was our 0th and first day for Gen Con.
And the demo tables for Kingdom Death, they have some of the new monsters.
I saw that and I was like, what the fuck is that?
The Frog Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of want to get the demo of Kingdom Death just so I can see what the new creatures do.
I'm fine with that. I mean, we could just walk up and be like, dude, take a break, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, Kingdom Death has cool demos too. It's like pre-printed characters that have like all the damage and stuff on them already. Like, you have 4 bleeding tokens already. You're almost gonna die.
Yeah. You know what else we can do? We can use it as an excuse to see if we're getting any rules wrong too.
Yeah, we'll see how the demo handles that sometimes. Yeah, just kind of roam around and see some other cool stuff. Yeah. It's Gen Con. It's still happening for another 3 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much is it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see you tomorrow / later today.
Yeah.
/ whenever you fucking listen to this.
Yeah.
Save it all up and listen up at the same time.
Yeah, right?
All that information that you've
that
heard
will
from
then be out
somewhere
of
else.
date.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, as usual, I am Zach.
I'm Steak and Shake Jeff.
Yes.
And I'm just Wes.
Thank you, Wes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No
now
problem.
we get to sleep in the same bed together.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.